If we will look to the list of war crimes, which is mentioned, as I said already, in particular in the Article 8 of the International Criminal Court statute, that we will see that Russia committed all kinds of international war crimes which exist. So basically, and what is also important, that it happens on all levels, starting from the higher command, because then they're talking about this systematic targeting of critical civil infrastructure. It's something which is decided on very high level. We're talking about kidnapping on the children. It was supported by President Putin himself. It was recorded on video. If we're talking about bombing of civilian objects, it could be done on the kind of middle level of the officers. Regular soldiers, they're involved in looting, in raping, in killing of civilians, and actually they looting more or less everything, starting from the washing machines and finding by the even dirty underwear and dogs. There's small houses for dogs, and actually it's not exaggeration. There are videos how they looted, and it's all of them: regular soldiers, mobilized soldiers, so-called volunteers. All of them are involved. Especially dangerous the recruitment of the criminals, which was very active. Very common practice by Russian army, and in particular by the so-called private military companies like Wagner. But we should clearly understand that in reality it's not private military company. In reality it's a clear proxy of Russian army made by GRU, which is main intelligence department of the Ministry of Defense. So they were fully supported and supplied by Russian army. They have heavy weapons like tanks, like anti-aircraft systems. So it was clearly not private military company in classical understanding, but proxy which were fully supported by Russian Federation. And now then Wagner is recognized by a number of the countries as a terrorist organization. We can clearly say that Russian Federation as state support terrorist organization.
If they have any question, they can also ask.
Yes. Now floor is open for everybody. If somebody would like to pose any question. So here actually on the board there is the official website of Ukrainian General Procurator Office. There we can see updated information about war crimes which were committed by Russian Federation, and here we can see that only officially it was registered already more than 100,000 crimes. More specifically, I think 1,500 crimes, but you can check because actually this number is growing every day, and we should clearly understand that it's only crimes which were officially registered. That means that mostly they were collected on the liberated areas. We can only guess what's happening on occupied territories. You can see mass graves near Mariupol, for example, which are visible from the satellites even, so we can easily multiply this number for 2 or 3. So that shows that almost all Russian soldiers, officers, generals are involved in the war crimes. And actually it's an answer also if it's only war of Putin or not. It's clearly not the war of Putin, because of course Putin is directly responsible for that, but not Putin himself bombed hospitals, not Shoigu himself destroy shelters with civilians, not Gerasimov himself, I don't know, rape and kill people, etc. So it's clearly the war of the entire Russian Federation, because army is a clearly reflection of the society, and the number of war crimes does not give any alternative to that position actually.
May I ask you?
Sure.
Because you have addressed the arrest decided by the International Criminal Court. So what other measures would be needed from the international community from now onwards to support Ukrainian citizens?
First of all members of the International Criminal Court, they should arrest Putin as soon as he will enter the territory of that respective states. That already caused to Mr. Putin pretty significant problems because he could not travel freely as it was before, so he can visit only the most totalitarian rule states. So now he is planning to visit North Korea, for example, and he received the leader of North Korea recently. But of course, first of all, to arrest him, Russia should be military defeated, because otherwise it will be technically problematic to bring him to the justice. But as soon as Russia military defeated, then it can start to collapse to smaller countries, which will be definitely the most positive development, because if Russia will not be defeated, it will have some ceasefire, some rest, and after a certain period of time it start again. Entire history shows that it's impossible to change that country in the current borders. So that's why international community should clearly understand that aim which should be achieved. And as soon as Russia will be fragmented in the smaller states, it will be easier to organize democratic reform, to provide de-Russification, which will be similar to denazification of Germany after Second World War, because now, as you know, there is new definition, Russism or Russism. Some people saying it's a Russian fascism, but I believe it's a much broader definition, because modern Russian society, it's a unique combination of classical Nazism, fascism, communism, imperial mentality, and religious fundamentalism. So that combination created really evil ideology of Russism, which is spread by so-called Russian world throughout the planet by different tools, by corruption of the Western politicians, by propaganda, by disinformation, by cyber attacks, by direct terrorist attacks using chemical weapons like Novichok or polonium, which is radioactive materials. All you know about those cases. They try to organize coup d'etats like it was in, for example, Montenegro, etc. So basically, Russian Federation is not only a threat to Ukraine, it's a threat to the entire world, and it should be treated accordingly.